Hey there, everyone. I'm Ashley Bullington, and you're watching the fifth quarter. It's a big weekend of Texas high school basketball as the girls are down in San Antonio, seeing who's going to win that state title, and boys are in the regionals and regional finals this weekend. And we have Inside High School Sports Insider Ryan Harris to talk about the weekend action. So, Ryan, it's a big weekend. Boys regional finals is coming up. Girls are down at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio playing for state. But let's start with the girls. Who had a big day today and will be playing for that state title tomorrow?
Well, unfortunately, I'll start off with Mansfield Timberview. They lost a heartbreaker, came right down to the wire and lost 45-44. So that's really tough just to have to get all the way to San Antonio and then have your season end like that. But a great season from them nonetheless. And just getting to San Antonio is special in and of itself. So all these teams have a lot to be proud of. They've accomplished things that, in some cases, no other team in that school's history has done. So it was a great season for Timberview. And then Dallas Lincoln lost as well to Fairfield. But we do have the Argyle girls that will be playing tomorrow. They defeated Fredericksburg this afternoon by a final score of 49-38. So they're going to be looking for title number 6 tomorrow afternoon. And then the McKinney girls took on undefeated Cy Creek, 40-0, number 3 in the state. McKinney was 22-12. They were, the big story going into this weekend. Could they pull it off? And they got off to a hot start. They led 11-2, trailed by 5 at halftime, and then it kind of came down to the wire again. Trailed by 4 late, about 2 minutes left, and then eventually fell 54-51 to end their season. But that's just incredible for them to be able to have gone on this kind of a postseason run. And there's no shame in losing to a team that is now 41-0 in Cy Creek. It remains to be seen tomorrow, but they could very well end up winning the state championship. So anytime your season ends at the hands of the eventual state champion, that there's something to be said for that. So it was a great run for the McKinney girls.
Most definitely. And then Argyle is going to be competing for their seventh straight title as well tomorrow. But we'll move on to the boys' side of things. What happened in DFW in 6A tonight?
Well, I'll start off with the big surprise in 6A over in Region 1. Number 6 Richardson took on number 17 Odessa Permian, and Permian came out with the win in that one. I really thought Richardson was going to win. At the end of the day, when you get this deep in the playoffs, everybody's good. Everybody has been tested by a good team. Pretty much everyone that's made it to this stage has beaten a good team to get here because we are down. I guess tomorrow is the regional final. This is the regional semifinal tonight for the boys. I guess at this stage, having 2 sophomores lead your team is a tall ask, and that kind of showed tonight. But Richardson's going to be back. They were the 6th-ranked team in the state. Again, they got this far in the playoffs. They had some big wins, beat some really good teams to get here. Had one of the tougher roads of any team in the state. So that also doesn't exactly always play in your favor. You like to be able to play a good team before you get to the stage, so you're kind of battle tested, but they were playing good team after good team after good team to get here, and Permian didn't have that same tough path to the stage that Richardson did. And they had a test tonight and they passed it, and they'll get number 1 Duncanville tomorrow afternoon, and the winner will get a chance to go down to San Antonio to play in the state tournament. Of course, Duncanville beat Arlington Bowie tonight pretty comfortably. They got up early. Bowie sort of hung in there, cut it to 9. It go back to 12. They get it back down to 9, and it was sort of just like back and forth, but never really closer than about 9 points. And Duncanville came out with the win there. So those two will play tomorrow to decide the Region 1 champion. Over in Region 2, Wylie defeated Round Rock Westwood, and I believe they're facing Killeen Ellison, the number 3 team in the state, and so that's going to be really tough for them. But again, the winner of that one will go down to San Antonio to represent Region 2.
And, big games tonight in 5A as well. Wylie kind of having a Cinderella run of a postseason right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I would say they're the Cinderella run on the boys' side versus the McKinney girls on the girls' side. In 5A, we have a pretty good matchup tomorrow. So tonight, Mansfield Timberview defeated Ryder. Burleson Centennial defeated El Paso Eastwood. So Centennial and Timberview will play tomorrow afternoon to decide the Region 1 championship. And in Region 2, we've got another great matchup. Lancaster easily beat Highland Park tonight. Kimball got by Mount Pleasant. So the Kimball boys will be taking on number 1 Lancaster for the Region 2 championship.
It's a big night of Texas high school basketball. But the biggest is that these teams are get to play for a chance to go play in state. What's a big surprise to you, or what's a team that you've really enjoyed watching this season that you're kind of rooting for to get to San Antonio?
I definitely wouldn't mind seeing Kimball upset Lancaster. They've got another sophomore. The sophomore class in DFW is really loaded, and they've got a really good one in Ontario Morris. I would love to see him there. Of course, Lancaster's led by Mike Miles, and they'll have to play either Shadow Creek or Hightower, whoever comes out of Region 3, and then San Antonio Wagner will probably come out of Region 4. The 5A Final Four is going to be loaded with talent pretty much no matter who makes it there, whether it be Lancaster or Kimball or Shadow Creek or Hightower. And then, Wagner, I don't see that they have too much competition out of Region 4, but they'll probably make it, and they're a good team. So we could have potentially have a Final Four of all top, with the lowest seed being number 8 in the state right now. And that's when you get down to the Final Four, that's just about how it should be. So I'm really looking forward to the 5A Final Four next weekend. But up to this point, that team for me has been Richardson. And I know they lost tonight, but again, to be led by 2 sophomores and to get to this stage of the playoffs and for them to be playing as well as they have, they beat number 1 Duncanville. That was a potential matchup I was really looking forward to, because that would have been round 3 between the district rivals, and just to see the senior laden experienced Duncanville group that has went on that state running, sort of knows what it takes to get there, versus the younger Richardson squad with the all-star sophomores. That was what I was really looking forward to. Permian spoiled that tonight a little bit, but I gotta give that shout out to Richardson, even though their season is over.
Thanks, Ryan. Such great games going on this weekend, and we have some amazing finals matchups tomorrow. And we have Wingstop Inside High School Sports producer Ward Fasold to talk about those matchups.
Don't forget to catch our extended coverage of the high school football season each week on The Warm-Up, presented by your local North Texas Geico agents. We will get you ready for all the action this Thursday on all our social media outlets. Watch Inside High School Sports to catch this week's MVP, brought to you by GiveMeTheVin.com. These MVP athletes make it look easy, just like GiveMeTheVin.com makes it easy to sell your car. The Inside Story is driven by your North Texas Honda dealers. Right now, they can help you get great deals on award-winning Hondas. It's their job to be helpful, so stop by your local Helpful Honda dealer today.
Wingstop Inside High School Sports airs on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. on NBC5. And we have Ward Fasold on to talk about what you'll be seeing on that show and matchups for tomorrow's finals. Wizzy, so we talked with Ryan about tonight's games, what happened on Friday. Let's talk about Saturday. Let's kick it off with the regional finals, and then we'll move into state. So what are we seeing in regional finals for boys tomorrow?
Well, one of the things we're going to see is we're hoping to see a three-peat of the Duncanville-Richardson game. That's not going to happen because the Mojo Magic came in there. I think this comes down to coaching between Duncanville and Odessa Permian. That'll be the first game at 1 o'clock, 6A Region 1. It's going to come down to coaching, and it's going to come down to senior leadership. And I think Micah Peavy and the boys pull it off and head back down to state. Permian plays very good defense as they shut down the sophomores you heard earlier. But I just think Duncanville is going to come out on top. They have the experience. They've won in tight games, and I think that's what's going to happen. Now, in the other 6A game in the area, Region 2, that's Wylie against Colleen Ellison. I think Wylie's run comes to an end here. They're going to have to slow it down again like they did with Round Rock Westwood. But Ellison is a third-ranked team in the state, and they have a kid named Samir Bogues who he dunked on 3 people at one time when I was at the game tonight, and the guys put up 27 points. I think they're going to end up going on to state, and Wiley's run's going to end. But if it does end tomorrow, was one heck of a ride for Wylie because they went further than anybody expected. The marquee matchup I like is the 5A Region 2 game between Lancaster and Kimball. That game's going to go up and down. I think Lancaster had an off shooting night tonight, even though they won by 30-some points against Highland Park. It mostly just came out of athleticism. They out-athleted them, and Kimball struggled against Mount Pleasant. I don't know if that's going to be a wake-up call for them, but this game's going to go back and forth. I mean, I expect it to go in all the way to the fourth quarter. I'm not even going to pick one on this one. Who knows who's going to win that game? Now, in Region 1, it will be a crazy game. We should have you out there for that one for sure. But we won't, I know. But the 5A Region 1 game out in Snyder, that's Burleson Centennial against Mansfield Timberview. These two teams have played each other twice already because they're district foes, and Centennial's won both of them. This is the Spartans' first time to actually go out to a regional tournament, and if they get past Timberview, it'll be their first state tournament. So there are a lot of firsts for Centennial. Mansfield Timberview, I wouldn't count them out only because they're defending champions, and they still have Joey Madimba on the team who can make things happen down the stretch. But Centennial has had their number 2 times this year. We'll see what happens the third time. And another game we're going to be covering is the 3A Region 2 final, which is going to be Madison against Whitesboro. Madison's just been trucking along at 3A. They got a lot of losses on their ledger, but that's because they played so many tough teams in the non-district that they picked up losses early in the season. But once they got into district play and 3A play, they've been just manhandling everybody. I expect them to take care of Whitesboro easily and head down the state. And my most interesting thing is Class 4A. This may be the first time DFW has a chance to get 3 teams to state out of 4A, because Life Waxahachie, sorry about that. Life Waxahachie is Region 3. They got put out in Region 3, and they are in the finals against Houston Yates. Now, Houston Yates is probably about a 15-point favorite in that game, if not more. But the fact that we have 3 teams in Region Finals, because Region 2 has Faith Family, the defending champs. They'll be playing Paris out in Commerce, and that's actually really close to Paris. They're going to bring a huge home crowd, so it's going to be like a road game for Faith Family. And then Argyle will have a 6 o'clock game against in their region final as well, so they have a chance to go as well. That's Region 1. So a lot of good stuff going on in boys basketball. We have a chance to have at least a possibility of 8 teams going down the state. It's going to take a couple upsets here and there, but we have a chance. So I'm saying we have a chance.
I like it. I like it a lot. And the girls' action down in San Antonio has been crazy. Argyle's going for 7 straight. Frisco Liberty survives 4 overtimes today. Just a crazy day. But what are we to expect tomorrow?
Probably more wildness. I mean, I'm looking forward to the 6A final, because Duncanville, they had a little bit of trouble with Judson, but they shook them off. They're playing a Cy Creek team. They haven't lost yet. Cy Creek is 41-0, but we're not sure if their star player is going to play tomorrow or not. She did not play today, and McKinney gave them all they could handle. McKinney complete opposite of how they played in the regional final, where they couldn't put the ball in the basket to save their lives. They were hitting threes left and right against Side Creek, and the only 2 threes they really missed were at the end of the game to tie it. And I feel bad for McKinney, but their season ends, and it was a great one. But Duncanville will play Side Creek, and that's going to be the marquee game tomorrow night. And I expect Duncanville's just on a mission. I don't know if you saw it today, Ashley, but Jason Terry has got 4 or 5 NBA players to give them shout-outs on their Twitter feed to wish them good luck down here. They had Jason Tatum, Dirk Nowitzki, Mark Cuban, Sean Marion. He got a ton of them just to give them shout-outs. I don't know if they gave them enough juice to take out Converse Judson, but they did get past that game. Frisco Liberty will be taking on Veterans Memorial. Now, Liberty's found themselves in the final the last 2 years, and they ended up, well, last year they lost. This year we'll see what happens. But this is the first time San Antonio Veterans Memorial makes it to the final, so it might be the time for Liberty to squeak through there. Like you said, over the last 2 games, Liberty has played 4 extra periods. They are definitely battle-tested, and if they can use that experience to take out Veterans Memorial, this is the time to do it. And I'm actually looking for them to win state. And then, of course, you got Argyle. You just cannot – you can't turn your back on Argyle. They're just something else. They're playing Fairfield. It doesn't really matter who they play. It's their house. It's always been their house for the last 6 years. Riley McKinney's going to probably go off because it'll be her final high school game. She's going to SMU after this. She scored 20 today. I'm looking for them to win over Fairfield and just get yet another ring. I don't even think they have enough fingers for the rings they got nowadays.
It's going to be a great show tomorrow, as we'll have state champions crowned and regional finals will be over, so we'll know who will be headed to San Antonio for the boys state tournament. Until then, I'm Ashley Bollington, and thank you so much for watching the 5th Quarter.